So when you arrive here in Northern Ireland, you definitely need to get some money because they use pounds here, but a lot of the shops will actually accept euros at very unfavorable rates, so don't do it. You get shortchanged. To get the best rate, go to an ATM and withdraw money via our customer Global ATM Alliances, which includes Bank of America, BNP, Westpac, or Scotiabank. You can come to any of Barclays ATM and withdraw fee-free. Now here's a little advice. All the ATM here will give you what you call the Northern Irish notes. These are also pounds. It's 1-to-1 to pound sterling issued by Bank of England. However, they are not accepted in the mainland at most places. The best thing to do is keep the money from ATM, go inside, exchange it for pound sterling right away, and you can use the sterling anywhere here. With that being said, let's get our money and get going.
The name Belfast is derived from Irish, the river mouth of the sandbar, the capital and the largest city of Northern Ireland and home to a population of 700,000 in its metropolitan area. The site of the Belfast has been occupied since the Bronze Age and has become a substantial settlement in the 17th century after being established as an English town by the Sir Arthur Chichester. Belfast was officially granted the city status by Queen Victoria in 1888 after influx of Scottish Presbyterian. Over time, the city grew into a major port and has become a major industrialized center, especially in the area of textile manufacturing. With that being said, let's get going. Getting around is pretty simple in Belfast. Most attraction is easily accessible on foot, or you can grab a TransLink Visitors Transit Pass for 1, 2, or 3 days.
So one thing that's really nice about Northern Ireland is transportation here. Let's say if you buy a bus ticket going from Derry to Belfast, or if you buy a TransLink ticket from Dublin Airport to Belfast, that ticket's actually valid for the whole day. You can take any buses in Northern Ireland. I'm going to take advantage of the day pass by taking on bus 8D to go and see the Botanic Gardens, and I think it's going to be spectacular. So this is the Botanic Garden of Belfast, and it's a very lovely public garden that occupies 28 acres here, and it's very popular with the office workers and students and so on. After all, the Queen's University Belfast is only a block away, as well right beside is the Ulster Museum. And the most popular structure here is the Palm House, and what it contains is lots of tropical plants as well as hanging baskets and da-da-da-da. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a look. I'm excited, and I hope you are too.
In response to public interest in horticulture and botany, the garden was established in 1828 by the Belfast Botanic and Horticultural Society. Originally known as Belfast Botanic Garden, the site contains exotic tree species and impressive plant collections from the Southern Hemisphere, many of which can be seen in the park. One of the symbolic buildings is the Palm House, designed by Charles Linden, one of the earliest examples of Curvilinear cast iron glass house. The initial wings began in 1839 and was completed in 1840 by Richard Turner of Dublin. The cool wing houses all year round display of color and scented plants. The Tropical Ravine is a huge red brick greenhouse later added and completed in 1887, but recently renovated while preserving many of its original Victorian features. Split over 2 levels with an open reception area on the ground floor, and has been made more energy efficient to retain heat, ensuring the plants in the ravine have the right environment to grow. The added ramp walkway on the second floor overlooks some 190 plant species housed in the temperature and tropical zones and kept humid, with notable plants include Japanese fiber banana trees dating from 1904, tree fern thought to be 150 years old, and a beautiful natal cycad. Many consider these two greenhouses symbolize Belfast's growing industrial might and prosperity in the Victorian era.
Well, my favorite part about this garden is the outdoor rose garden here, and you can absolutely find every single color that you can imagine in roses. And if you have a date, I should go and find one myself. You know what to do, and it's not going to even cost you anything. Just look around, make sure that no one's around here.
This is the most popular section of the Botanic Garden. There is endless rows and rows of numerous species of roses. They are not only pretty, but you'll be surrounded with a heavenly fragrance. This flower bed is filled with pink, blooming rose called shot silk. They are first bred in Northern Ireland nursery by Alexander Dixon II in 1924. The Botanic Garden shares a main entrance with the Ulster Museum, another one of the must-see and free attractions in the city. First established as Belfast Natural History Society in 1821 and began exhibition in 1833. It is the largest museum in Northern Ireland with 8,000 square meters of public display space, featuring rich collection of art, history, and natural sciences. On the first floor, the museum includes exhibitions featuring the history of Northern Ireland from the earliest time to the very recent past, including the history related to a conflict in Northern Ireland during the late 20th centuries. The nickname, the Trouble, the conflict left more than 3,500 people killed, was civilian account for majority of lives lost until the Good Friday Peace Agreement signed on 10th of April 1998. So this part of the museum covers the history of Irish people that arrived here 10,000 years ago, and that here is also called the Middle Stone Ages. As well, many of the priceless artifacts related to Irish archaeology and ethnographics. Objects in the museum include Malone Hoare of 19 polished Neolithic axe head, the important Downpatrick Hoare of Bronze Age gold jewelries, and the medieval coin in the Armagh City Hoare and Armagh Castle Street Hoare. The museum is also home to a famous mummy takabuti detailing how ancient Egyptians prepared for death as they believed it was just another part of life. So, don't be scared of death. The scientific collection of the Ulster Museum contains the important sample of Irish birds, mammals, insects, marine invertebrates, flowering plants, algae and legends, as well as an archive of books and manuscripts related to Irish natural history. In the late 1980s and the early 90s, it has a permanent exhibition on dinosaurs, which have since been scaled back considerably. The geology exhibit showcased a collection of rocks, minerals, and even slices of large parasite meteorite found near the town of Sichin in Siberia.
By the Irish mathematician.
Now, to my surprise, it's also an arts museum, and it's pretty impressive. Let's have a look. An art gallery was also added in 1890, initially called the Belfast Municipal Museum and Art Gallery. In 1929, it was moved to its present location, and today its collection features some of the finest Irish art found anywhere in the world. It includes scenes by Jack Butter Yeats, William Connor's depiction of working class in Belfast, and the vibrant and precise canvas of John Luke. Sir John's Lavely Grand, and yet intimate paintings were significant gifts to the collection by the artist in 1929. Well, last but not least, on the top floor is the Gallery of Applied Arts. I don't even know what that means. The Gallery of Applied Arts include fashion and textile collection aimed to reflect the history of fashionable dress from as early as 18th century, as well as the contemporary international designer and high street fashion. It comprises approximately 5,000 objects including garment, accessories, historic and contemporary jewelries, and a collection of dolls and toys including pieces by Armand Marcel. Now this is actually really interesting. There's even a section dedicated to fashion. And despite my lack of fashion myself, I'm gonna brag, I'm actually wow, I was about to brag. I'm actually a runway director for New York Fashion Week, so I will see you there this September. The museum's policy is to collect clothing and accessories with an emphasis on acquiring pieces that are high design quality and or represent significant changes in fashion history. The collection includes 18th century span-filled silk gowns, early century Parisian couture, and contemporary international fashion. We are heading out to City Hall next. And same thing, make the most of your day pass. You can get there by bus 8B or 8C. It's a very short ride, it's roughly about 10 minutes. I briefly dropped outside the City Hall to take a quick look. Once the home of White Linen Hall, an important international linen exchange. If you got time and loves history, the City Hall offers free daily tour available on first come first served basis. I'm hungry. Now, if you're really tight on a budget, you can try out traditional Irish sausage rolls. It only costs £1. It's made from ground pork, served as part of the appetizer or sold in bakeries as a takeout food. You can also grab a fresh sandwich costing about £3. But if you really want to impress your date without breaking the bank, check out Tim Hortons across from the City Hall, my favorite coffee shop from across the Atlantic. So I'm always away, and whenever I have a chance to experience home, I'm always really happy. So here, I found a place, Tim Hortons. Oh my god, home away from home. 10 bits. You can't go wrong with that. And also, my favorite, chocolate glaze donuts. After sweetening out myself with all that sugar, let's see if I can find a sweet British lady for a date. One place to search for the love of my life is the Belfast's best known landmark, Albert's Memorial Clock, or simply as Albert's Clock, erected between 1865 and 1869 in a Gothic style to commemorate Queen Victoria's consort, Prince Albert. The tower is 43 meters height, and sometimes the clock is described as Belfast's answer to Pisa's Leaning Tower. Its tilt caused by the fact that constructed on the reclaimed land on the far side river and weighs over 2,000 tons. I think the tower and myself should go on a diet to be on the safe side.
So the bus will drop you off roughly about 100 meters from that sign. It says Belfast Castle, and so we are on the right track.
Congratulations if you do manage to find a nice British lady. I call a great place to take your date to a higher level. In fact, it's high and romantic, but make sure you behave. No antisocial behavior, please. Let's get going.
Yeah, we're not there. We're not there. Yeah, the gate is just right there.
Located on the slope of Cave Hill Country Park, 400 meters above the sea level with an unobstructed view of the city of Belfast, the Belfast Castle has a long and colorful history. Original Belfast Castle sit within the city of Belfast itself in the 12th century. In 1611, Sir Arthur Chichester, Baron of Belfast, was not so smart. Replaced the old castle with one that's made from stone and timber and eventually got burned down. Yikes. That might bring back some bad memories. So rather than rebuilding on the same site, a new castle will be built on the north of Belfast at the current site. The architecture was John Leon, who designed the new building in the then popular Scottish baronial style, with construction started in 1862 and completed in 1870. Today, the estate is home to a parkland and mature mix of woodlands and different species of wildlife, including long-eared owls, sparrowhawks, and many Belfast's rarest plants. One of the castle's most iconic features is a winding staircase at its entrance, whose grayish-brown color stand out against the blunt sienna stone and brick red details.
Alright, after all the hike, we made it here. There's lots of benches in the courtyard for you to actually come and sit and enjoy the beautiful view of Belfast from here. It's pretty high up, but what I'm really interested is actually seeing inside the castle, because I heard it's free.
Sir Arthur's son-in-law, Lord Ashley, 8th Earl of Shaftesbury, paid for the reconstruction and later inherited the castle in 1884. The Shaftesbury family were not only the castle's resident and owner, but they were also generous donor to the city of Belfast and hosted events at their home. The 9th Earl even became Belfast mayor in 1907. The castle remained in private estate until the entire property was gifted to the city in January of 1934. Now this is one heck of a castle. It's really big. Since 1945, the castle is open to the public daily with a visitor center, antique shop, restaurant, and a playground. If you really want to impress your date, many of the rooms have been turned into public tea rooms or available to be reserved for private functions. Oh yeah, if you manage to seal the deal, you can tie the knot right here. After all, the castle has been a popular venue for weddings, so good luck.